Hello everyone. It's a little after 10 p.m. Israel time. Weather is great. Great Jerusalem weather. And the demonstration against the judicial reform in Israel already is almost over. So you'll see, I saw already hundreds and hundreds of people leaving the area. And I'm not even in the center of the event, let's call it. So I'm entering the neighborhood of Rehavia, where the house of the Prime Minister is located. And again, there are hundreds and hundreds of people flowing from the demonstration out. You can see Israelis that support the reform speaking to those who are against it, just over here. I would say it's very interesting that the symbol of the protesters against the judicial reform is the Israeli flag, no less. People feel that they are fighting for their Israeli democracy, and that's why you'll see hundreds, if not thousands of Israeli flags. We are at Gaza Street. This is Gaza Street. Okay, so Gaza Street is where the Prime Minister's official residence is located. Balfour Street and Gaza Street. That junction is a bit up there. Again, the protest is almost over. People are basically leaving. Over here we have a few right-wing activists that are saying left-wingers are traitors. The black and red flag, red banner over there. Okay. So on Gaza Street we have the private residence, private apartment basically of Netanyahu. He lives further down the street. I'm not sure if there was a protest down there. It was probably due. There was a protest today. But I'm going up now to the junction with Balfour, near the official residence of the Prime Minister. It's not really occupied right now. There's some renovation taking place now. Let's take a look. Over here, this guy is holding a quote from Isaiah, Zion v'mishpat tipadeh, which means Zion in justice will be redeemed. Okay, he's basically taking this verse from Isaiah and saying, without justice, we won't be redeemed in our land. So, very important idea of the prophetic literature in the Bible. Yeah, it's pretty much over, but I thought I'll give you a little taste of how it looks like. I saw many young and old Israelis joining the demonstration. Everyone is holding Israeli flags and other signs and banners. Many have a shirt that says democracy. Over here we have a guy with a shirt, without democracy there is no academy. Gentleman with a drum, another drum. So I'm coming at the end of the demonstration, so there's not too many people here, maybe like a few hundred, 300, 400 maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe it goes further, I don't know. Oh yeah, a little more. Yeah, there's more. Let's take a look, okay? Over here there is a sign against Netanyahu. Netanyahu, the one who ruins Israel.
תודה לטובה שלג שמנחה פה כבר מעל חצי שנה את ההפגנה בירושלים. תודה לשוטרות ולשוטרים שלנו ולכל כוחות הביטחון שכבר חצי שנה עוזרות לנו לשמור על הבית המשותף. אנחנו נמשיך לתקווה ונצא לשבוע של מחאה ועשייה, שבוע טוב.
The ultra-Orthodox guys that are asking for checks and balances. You see they're in the middle of the protest. No online.
La parte de
tuned. I'll try to speak with some of the protesters. יכולים להתראיין באנגלית? זה רק לערוץ שלי? כן? זה בסדר אם אני מצלם אותך, זה רק לערוץ שלי. זה רק לערוץ שלי, אם תלך כרטיס, תוכל לדעת איפה זה. אני איתמר. אז אני אשאל אותך פשוט כמה שאלות, ותזרום, תענה מה שנראה לך, בסדר? אוקיי. אם לא אכפת לך...
אתה רוצה באנגלית?
מה זה?
אתה אמרת שבאנגלית?
Yeah, in English. So, if you can give us your name and where you're from.
My name is Yaakov Solomon. I'm from Yerushalayim. From Yerushalayim.
And what are you doing here and how do you feel here?
I'm here to protest against the proposed reform. It's a very diverse crowd here, and I think it's overall a good feeling.
Okay.
Though I can't say that there's a lot of people from my particular segment of society in this crowd, but still I think it's a very inclusive.
Is this unusual for Orthodox to join the protests?
Relatively speaking, yeah, I would say, but there's a few of us.
Okay. But have you seen other Orthodox around here?
Yeah, I have.
At first I thought you were protesting against it.
Most people do, because they look at the way I'm dressed and they think
I thought you protested for the reform. That's
right. I mean, many people make this mistake.
Yeah, okay. But you're against the reform the way it's proposed. Okay.
That's correct, yeah.
So how do your family or surrounding, what do they think about it? About you protesting here?
My immediate family is supportive, although I'm not sure they feel as comfortable with it as I do. The more extended families probably has different opinions.
Okay. And anything else? Like, do you feel like you're welcomed here? No one.
Definitely feel welcome here. Yes.
That's fine. It was peaceful. How do you feel that?
I think it's a very peaceful protest. I've never seen any violence here.
Okay. And how do you handle Shabbat? Because the protest starts somewhat around Shabbat or just before it's over.
So I think the protest here is very careful to avoid starting before Shabbat is over.
Okay.
I personally keep Shabbat a bit later than some people, and so I get here a bit late.
Yeah, me
but,
too. I just arrived.
But still, at least I get a chance to take part for a limited amount of time.
If it's 30 minutes or 45
Yeah, that's also good for me. So.
And how many times have you been to the protest so far?
I think I've been here every time since the beginning, except for
like
once.
6 months straight.
Yeah,
Wow,
except for once I missed.
Wow, great. Okay, anything else you want to tell us?
I think this is really important for the future of the state of Israel, that people speak up here, and that it's really important that people continue to speak up, even though this is a very long and protracted process. And we have to stick with our values and make them heard. And I think that if we continue and explain and show this is a very diverse and inclusive protest, I think people will eventually see the justice in what we're saying, and it will make a big difference.
So you were not born here. You were born in the States, I guess?
Yeah, I was born in New York.
Yeah, in New York. Okay. So clearly, I mean, you are coming from a democracy, and you thought Israel is also a democracy. So how is this balance between Jewish life and Jewish law and democracy? What is your take on it?
Well, I'm very committed to Jewish life and Jewish law, but I think it's a lot of very important rabbis have also voiced this opinion that it has to be something people do out of commitment, out of personal attachment to these things and love for what they're doing. It's not something which should be forced on people. It's a very important thing. I think there should be like people should, do it with enthusiasm and because that's what they want, not because somebody else kind of forces them into it.
Yeah.
And,
so even the rabbis, you say, or the rabbis you're at least in touch with, are for the democratic debate around whatever topic is on the agenda?
There are some who I would say are, others are maybe less so. I mean, I'm thinking of things that I've seen written, many, many years ago already. People talked about how, say, forcing people to follow the Torah is not going to actually make people follow the Torah. I mean, in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
So it's much more important to explain what you think, and people should make the decisions for themselves.
Okay, so I'm going to challenge you for a little bit.
Okay.
In the book of Judges, towards the end, the coalition of the 12 tribes is kind of falling apart. Okay? So we get to pretty much the end of the book of Judges, and the horrific story about the concubine, Pilegesh Bagiva, the concubine who was murdered, and there's like a whole civil war against the tribe of Benjamin. Right? So do you think we're going to get to that moment, this coalition of tribes, Israeli tribes, modern tribes, let's call it? Do you think it's going to collapse? We'll need another Prophet Samuel at some point?
I really hope not. I will do everything I possibly can to prevent such a thing happening. I mean, I think I spend a lot of time talking to people and trying to explain and trying to listen. I think it's really important to listen as well, just to understand the other side and to realize that what brings us together is much more than what divides us. And I really truly believe that. I think we have to really be careful because history shows us that time and again we fall into this trap and we can't afford to do it again.
Right. And when is the Mashiach coming? When is that happening?
I think that's something which we're not supposed to ask.
Do you think this is a part of the process? It's like supposed to bring us together, like this, ongoing debate, which is very like tearing the society apart. Ultimately, will make us grow stronger.
Well, I think in general that bad things which happen oftentimes have a hidden positive side to them.
Yeah.
And
even
I
this
think
hard time will, bring us together.
I certainly hope so. I mean, in the short run, it looks bad. In the long run, I think it makes people kind of re-examine their values and think and act more, and I think this is a good thing and overall, although of course it's pretty risky and pretty dangerous, and I wouldn't choose this as kind of like what I would like to happen, but I can see how it could come out for the better.
What's your name again, sorry?
Yaakov Solomon.
Amazing. I'm Itamar Ben David, and I'll give you my card, and you're welcome to watch it later on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. All the best. Appreciate it. Okay. We had our first interview. They're about to open the street. It's a great experience talking to Yaakov Solomon. As you can see, the red ribbon, they are folding it, symbolizing the red line. You're crossing a red line, basically. Over here, you can see the merch, I guess. The one that destroying Jerusalem, destroying Israel, Machriv Israel. The government of the looting, democracy or a rebellion. Destruction government. Yeah, that's what's happening here. And some candies, I guess, some shirts. Yeah, that's what you see here. Here we have another group. This is the part of the protest of the reservists. Okay, meaning in Israel there is a mandatory reserve service, and there's a big group of reservists that actually very deeply involved in that. Oh, this is funny. It says grandmothers for democracy. Over here, this guy has a shirt. Without democracy, there is no high tech. Or earlier we saw, without democracy, there is no academy. This is Paris Square. What you see here. They're opening the roads. They're about to allow, like the protest. I told you the demonstration is almost over. So I arrived here to get some conversations with the people here. You see some policemen on horses. Let's try and speak with other ladies here. See one of the grandmothers here, that's kind of funny. היי, סליחה? מישהו רוצה להתראיין באנגלית?
כשאתם עצורים אתם תופסים מקום בתחנה, לזכור את זה. זה טוב שאתם עצורים ותופסים מקום בתחנה.
היי, שלום. תרצו אולי להתראיין באנגלית? תרצו אולי להתראיין באנגלית?
היא מומחית, היא אלופה.
בסדר?
למי? למה?
זה סתם לערוץ שלי. תוכל אחרי זה להסתכל ביוטיוב. בסדר?
על מי אתה? אני לא
אני מדריך פה מירושלים. רק רציתי...
מדריך למה?
מדריך טיולים. מדריך טיולים.
אז למה אתה...
רק רציתי להראות לאנשים את ה...
הנה, נטלי, פרופסורית גדולה. היא תאהב להתראיין. היא טובה באנגלית, גם בצרפתית.
טוב, בסדר.
בצרפתית?
אין שום בעיה.
הם בלחץ, תקשיב, אין לי יום עכשיו שאני לא מלמדת לפחות פעמיים.
היי, סליחה? אפשר היה לראיין אותך באנגלית במקרה?
באנגלית, האנגלית שלי פחות מרשימה, אבל אומרי באנגלית.
היי, אומרי. רוצה להתראיין? אוקיי, משהו קצר, בסדר.
הוא רוצה באנגלית.
לא? בסדר, לא חבל. זה לערוץ שלי.
לא, אני מנועה, אני עובדת
אין בעיה.
בצפונית.
הכל בסדר. תודה. לא יודע.
רגע, זה האחיות.
As I'm looking for someone to interview, in case you are not very familiar with what's happening in Israel right now, in the last few months, the government of Israel, the current government of Israel, is interested in a massive judicial reform that, according to the protesters and the opposition, will destroy the balance, I guess, between the different branches, the government, the legislature, and the judiciary. So basically, a few of the things that they are interested in doing is to have the ability to overrule or override, I guess, any decision of the court by another legislation, meaning if they passed a certain law and the Supreme Court overrule it or override it, then they'll be able to pass it again, and then it will be valid, and the law will be valid. If I'm not super accurate about it, pardon me, I'm a tour guide, not an expert in constitutional law, but this is pretty much, I'm trying to dumb it down to a level that I can actually understand. So pardon me. They also want to pass a law that says that if a certain law that they pass is considered to be constitutional law, which basically they can do on any law, even if it's a minor thing, the Supreme Court won't be able to touch it because it's defined by the legislator as a constitutional law. And the Supreme Court won't be able to overrule different laws unless it's a massive majority in the Supreme Court, meaning I don't know if it's 12 or 13 or maybe even 14 Supreme Court judges. Again, they didn't pass any of these rules yet, so it's not like there is something specific. I know there were a few proposals around that. They also are interested in changing the way the judicial selection, the whole idea of how you pick the judges, how you select the judges, will be reformed. So the coalition at the moment need to have all kinds of deals with the opposition, with the Chamber of the Attorneys, and they need to, and the current committee that is selecting the judges, they need to have all kinds of deals between, again, coalition and opposition, with Supreme Court representatives and the Chamber of Attorneys. So there's a very complicated way to select judges, and the coalition actually wants to control this committee. So at the moment, they don't have it, but they are interested in having it. They want to change the committee, so the coalition will have more power. Meaning, when I say a coalition, it practically means the government will have more power, the executive branch. Then we have a whole thing that is happening now this week about the power of the legal advisors, and this whole idea of reasonability and what is reasonable, who decides what is reasonable, what is not, whether it's the legal advisors or someone else. See, people are hanging out. Back to Gaza Street. Yeah. So what is reasonable, what is not? Again, everything is a valid argument. There's much to say for and against it, and how much and how frequently the Supreme Court used this clause of reasonability, if something is reasonable or not, in the past. And there was a lot of criticism around that. So now they want to change it, so the government will decide practically what is reasonable and what is not. So there is no judicial review, I guess. That's pretty much another topic, another thing that is on the agenda right now. Yeah, there are a few other topics around this judicial reform, but I think I'm about to exhaust my English in constitutional law language. So this is as much as I can explain, I guess. Yeah, read about it. It's very interesting what's going on. I must say that in the last elections, it was very close. Like if you count the actual votes for and against this government, it was really almost 50-50. But because of the way our elections are done, you need to have a certain percentage of the vote, otherwise you're not entering the parliament, and few of the left-wing parties actually left outside. So they clearly were not counted. So of course the current government is legit. It was elected fair and square. No one can dispute that. But the constitutional changes they are interested in passing, that's what got people out on the streets. So yeah, it's almost probably 11 p.m. in Israel right now, and the protest is already over. It was very peaceful. I spoke with one gentleman. I hope to get the chance to speak with another person. And let's see what happens. היי בנות, סליחה. אתן רוצות להתראיין באנגלית לערוץ שלי? רציתי לשאול משהו? לא? אוקיי. כיף. Stay with me. I hope to get another person to interview about the reform and about their thoughts and opinions. Let's see what happens. היי, סליחה. בסדר, אשאל אותך כמה שאלות, רציתי לראיין באנגלית מישהו אם זה בסדר. זה הערוץ שלי, מוזמנת אחרי זה להסתכל ביוטיוב, להיות בקשר, סליחה. אז אני אשאל אותך כמה שאלות מאוד בסיסיות, שם, היכן למה את פה? זה בסדר?
כן.
I'm Itamar. What's your
Hi.
name?
Ifat.
Ifat.
Yes.
Okay, Ifat, where are you from?
From Jerusalem.
From Jerusalem.
Yep.
What are you doing here?
I'm fighting for the future of my country, of my children. Child, not children.
Okay.
I'm trying my best.
So what do you do here? Like how often you come to the protest?
It depends. It's like 6 months of protest. So at the beginning it was once a week, and then it went for like 2 times a week. One time here, one time in Nir Barkat. Tel Aviv, like sometimes to meet friends.
Okay, so when she says Barkat, she means the former mayor of Jerusalem.
Yes.
He's a parliament member from the Likud. He lives in Jerusalem, and there are protests.
And he does nothing for the future of the Israel. Is just, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed.
Nir Barkat is a very famous person here.
Very famous.
So I see you have your own drums.
Yep. That's the second. I had one in the first, like, but then it got lost, and I was so sad when it got lost.
Okay.
And I started a new one, and it's good.
What's your shirt says? The Ahavta?
Yeah.
And you show love. Okay. So
I think all protest is good because it's like it's a very dangerous time, and everyone is doing is very good. But I'm like for. We have to. I don't know how to say haskama rechava, but we have to go there.
Consensus around these
Yeah,
topics, yeah.
we have to. I'm against the government. I'm not against like the people who chose those government.
Yeah.
And I think we have to take them into account, and we have to think also. We have to fight, but we have to think.
Did you have the chance to speak with right-wingers or people that support the government?
Of course.
Support the reform?
Of course, my family.
Your family from?
Yeah, my family is from Jerusalem, and my husband's family is from Nahariya, and like both of them have people who are.
Nahariya is up in the north, up in the Galilee.
Yeah. So, I live with them. I love them.
What do they say? Are they happy with the current situation, or they say
They're not happy, but they're blaming us.
blaming us? In what
Blaming
way?
us.
The protesters, you mean?
Yeah. That we only want to like. It's not about the reform. It's about the government. We want to bring them down. We're not accepting democracy. They want. Most of Israel want the reform because they have 64.
Yeah. And what do you say about that? I mean, I heard that many times, but was it part of the agenda during the campaign for the elections?
It was a little part, but it wasn't like this. And they have to stop because they're ruining Israel. It's not about the reform. It's about our social social fabric, about the people, about the kituv, the pilug. How do you say it? The polarization? Yeah. They're very bad people. Like everyone there is awful.
Yeah.
So I don't trust them.
And I wanted to ask you, like, when you speak with your family that supported the government, are they happy with, you know, other things that are where this government was elected not clearly for the judicial reform, they were also elected for security matters, economy, they were elected for other things. What did they say about the performances?
They're
of this
blaming
government?
us because
we don't.
they don't have time to deal with that because they have to deal with us. You know.
Okay.
It's not logic. It's not logic. It's emotions.
Okay.
It's the emotions that motivate
So
people.
how do you address their emotions? Because maybe their emotions, you know, that's what.
They're valid. I think their emotions are valid, and we have to acknowledge this in order to bring them closer and to see the emotion, but not
So,
to agree to the
Let's put aside
response.
the logic, okay?
Yeah.
Like they have emotional response to the situation, and I assume you also have emotional response.
I have a lot of emotional responses to the
So Shabbat
situation.
dinner is also very happy, I guess. It's always very, very
It
exciting.
depends. In my family, we ignore. We don't speak about everything until my brother got arrested and it all like exploded. But we're not talking sense. We're not addressing the issue.
Where is it going? How do you see the next 6 months?
I don't know.
I mean, you're going to come here every week, maybe twice a week to these protests. And that's
Maybe
what it's
4 times a week and 5 times a week. There was a period of 5 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is your kid?
3.
3.
She's been here a lot.
She's been here?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Now
here like
asleep?
saying
She's
Demokratia
asleep?
Omeret and everything. Now she's asleep, yeah. In the evening it's me, and in the morning, if it's not like a very violent, she's coming with us.
You seem like
Yes,
violent.
I was pushed. I was like almost ran over by
Horseman?
a horseman. Yeah,
Wow. Where was it?
near Cinema City, near the Knesset, Yeah,
Ah, okay. This was like a month or 2 months ago, maybe.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. Oh,
3 days ago.
Oh, okay, because of the protest in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
No. She's waiting for me. So thank you
Sorry.
very much,
Sorry for holding you.
and
Thank you
good
very
luck.
much, Ifat. All
Thank
the
you.
best. Keep in touch. Itamar. You have my card. Okay. Thank you very much. Good. Yeah. Over here we have a great restaurant called Babel Yaman. The gate to Yemen. Yeah. So it's a Yemenite restaurant we have here. Yeah. Lots of people. Ice cream as well. Yeah. That's pretty much what's going on here. Okay. Okay, now that we see Gaza Street and the protest is almost over, let me just turn it back to me. Hello. Yeah, so I was just trying to give you a little sense of what is happening in Israel right now. I must say I don't attend the protests, and I think it's maybe my first or second time. Nothing ideological. I'm not supportive of the reform the way it's presented at the moment. I assume that there is a need for reform in the judiciary, but not in the way and pace it's done today. But I just wanted you to hear out some of the people here. We heard one man and one lady. The man was ultra-Orthodox. The lady seemed pretty secular to me. And just try to give you an idea of what's happening here. Maybe I'll do more of those. Let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. And until the next time, all the best. Bye-bye. Shavua Tov.